Hey guys, NicMakesPlays here, and today I'm going to go over my Shen Fiora deck. Pretty popular deck, it's been around since the beta. The deck has always existed. It's just based around Fiora and Challenger units getting barriers from Shen and other cards, and getting a lot of advantage through combat trades. And now that River Shaper's been buffed, this buff happened a few months ago, but it's a 2-2 and it can constantly be giving you new spells to work with your challengers to get more value, but we'll get into that when we talk about the deck, so let's get into it right now. Start already. So our first card / challenger is our 1-drop, Fleet Feather Tracker. This card is a 1-drop. We summon another ally, grant me challenger. Pretty much the point of the deck is you use the challenger units in unison with cards like Bright's Protector, give an ally barrier this round. Sharp Sight, good combat trades that can make you win trades with the barriers. Young Witch, give my support ally quick attack and +1/+0 this round. This card's very good. Let's say you're going second. Turn 1, you play Fleet Feather Tracker, right? Turn 2, you can either play Bright Steel Protector or Young Witch, and then attack with Fleet Feather Tracker to get a free kill on whatever 1-drop they played. You can use cards like Riposte and Shen, give barrier this round, stuff like that. So, Fleet Feather Tracker, 3 of those. 3 Green Glade Caretaker, so 1-drop. When an ally gets barrier, give me +2/+0. These easily get over 10 attack at the end of the game. Realistically, they're always around 3 or 5 attack, which is really good for a 1-drop. Like a 1-drop 3/2 or a 1-drop 5/2 is quite good, especially for blocking later in the games. If you can get to the 5/2, 7/2 area, then you can block cards that are like 5+ cost with the 1 cost. So 3 Bites Protector, one of the very simple cards of the deck, one of the best cards of the deck. Give an ally barrier this round. Again, use on the challengers such as Fiora, Learn Protege, helps level up Shen, and you can keep threatening Fiora's level up with all the barriers. But River Shaper is also really good. You play it, give it to River Shaper, the barrier, and you attack and get a free spell from your deck that strikes and they can't block this barrier. So yeah, Bright's Protector, 3 Sharp Sight. This card's amazing. I really like Sharp Sight this format, particularly because Ezreal was just reworked and he's found a spot in the meta. I think that this is very good versus Ezreal because Ezreal stats only a 1/3 elusive, so if you Sharp Sight pretty much anything, you can kill Ezreal. Because give an ally +2/+2, I can block units with elusive this round. This card in general is just good. Just a 2-mana burst spell that does +2/+2 is pretty versatile. One of the best cards in the deck, and it's nice that like whenever River Shaper searches Sharp Sight, you feel pretty safe. This card's good like almost all the times in the game. You could also pass. Let's say like you miss your turn 2, you don't have like a Young Witch or a Bright Protector, and you play the Green Caretaker, Fleet Tracker, or whatever. If you miss turn 2, then you bank Spellbind for Sharp Sight, which is cool for later. 3 single combat. This is really good with barriers because you can give something barrier like Bright Protector. So you give like River Shaper or if you're a barrier, and then single combat, get free kills. Level up Fiora. Young Witch, give my support ally quick attack and +1/+0 this round. Go with the challengers. All right, so Fiora, this is one of the main win cons of the deck. You usually win through just either outvalving or killing your opponent, but you can always threaten the Fiora win condition. When I've killed 4 enemies, survive, win the game. So this is very achievable in this deck because in the early game you can do things like Bright Steel Protector and Young Witch to get your first kills, or even just if Fiora kills things by herself, 3 the challenger can farm like the spiders or like Warding Stones and stuff like that. And then later in the game, you have Sharp Sight, you have single combats. If you get Shen, you just get barriers every turn. It's really easy to get it out of hand. Riposte is very good. Defensive turns, they attack you, Riposte with Fiora and get a free kill. And then Concerted Strike, pick an enemy till I strike it. This card also is good because they don't strike Fiora back, she just strikes them. So yeah, really easy to level her up and get the win con. 3 Learn Protege, just 3 more copies of a 3-star challenger, but 2/4 is good stats. Kills 3/2s without any help. So yeah, really good. Works well with all the Young Witch and Bright Steel Protectors and stuff like that. The health's pretty important. Okay, 3 River Shaper. This is also one of the best cards in the deck. Strike, draw a spell. This deck is really good if you can get River Shaper going, because if you can get him going without them stopping him, he protects himself. And what I mean by that is that, let's say you have River Shaper, right? You attack with Bright Steel, or you Bright Steel on River Shaper attack, right? You get a free spell. The spell can use as protection for River Shaper next turn. So let's say they attack next turn. Then you can Sharp Sight on River Shaper, or Riposte whatever you search off River Shaper. It kills their card, protects itself, and it searches another spell. So it's kind of just like a self-sufficient where it keeps getting cards that protect itself. This variant's a lot different than other variants. I'll get to why later and things you can do differently, but I kind of like this version as a toolbox with River Shaper. I run 1 Deny and 1 Spirit Refuge because they're both searchable off River Shaper, so just having the 1-ofs, I don't really like 1-ofs that much in decks, but there's definitely time to justify them, and I think it's really fun and interesting deck building when you can justify them enough. I think 1 Deny and 1 Spirit Refuge are both very good, considering that since River Shaper can search them, you have a higher chance of seeing them. So when you have a one of like Deny or Spirit Refuge, you pretty much aren't going to see it most of the games. It's a very low chance you'll see your one ofs. Out of, like, say you play 10 games, maybe you'll see it like a few. But you want to see when it matters. Like, Deny is very good versus like Trundle Tryndamere type stuff. This is good versus aggro, like the burn to heal it back later. But with River Shaper, you have a higher chance of seeing these. So you'll see, even though it's just a one of slot, which is a low deck building cost because it only takes up one slot, you get to see them much more often. So it's kind of like a toolbox where River Shaper can search all these amazing spells like Sharp Sight, Single Combat, can Surge Strike, Deny, Spirit Refuge. It's pretty cool. So one Deny. I think it's important to have the one Deny. A lot of games are... It's the tool. It's so good. Like, a lot of games I'm like, all right, if River Shaper gets Deny here, then we're set, and we get Deny. But Deny's not good versus everything, so running more than one can be risky. Like, for example, Ash Sejuani, besides Reckoning, they don't really have many spells. They're mostly just burst spells and like Harsh Winds and stuff like that. So it's like you don't really have the risk of double drawing it and having it dead in a lot of matchups, but you still see it often enough with River Shaper. 3 post, give an eye +3/+0 on barrier. Yeah, it's really good. Combat trade gives the barrier. This card's like perfect for this deck. It lets you get the kill in, pecks your guy, and gives the barrier. Level up Shen. Shen, seeing allies gain barrier 4+ times. He's decently easy to level up, but you really just need him for his level 1 form. Just give barrier each turn. Attack with the River Shapers, get more Concerted Strikes to remove threats, get more Riposte to win combat trades and Sharp Sights. Then Fiora's level up. Shen and Fiora put together are just a menace. It's super easy to get 2 out of 4 with Fiora and then finish off with like Concerted Strikes and stuff. So 1 Spirit Refuge, good against aggro. I think that there's a lot of Draven Jinx right now in the meta, and in general there's Fearsomes and stuff, so I think Spirit Refuge is pretty good as a one-off, just to get the barrier and lifesteal. 3 Concerted Strike, this card is phenomenal. So this is, as you can see, this deck doesn't really have too many big units. Its attack isn't that high on average, but you do have things like Riposte and Concerted Strike to help you. Concerted Strike is extremely good because of River Shaper and Fiora. So as you can see, you pick an enemy, that's how I strike it, counts with Fiora's level up, you can get Fiora win con, but it's really, really good with River Shaper. Because what you do, let's say they have Shyvana, right? 4/4. You can Concerted Strike, River Shaper attacks it first, and then Fiora attacks it after. River Shaper will search you the card because it's struck, so it's searching another spell, and Fiora kill and get her level up. And if you can just keep Concerted Striking, like there's times where you have 2 River Shapers, and you use Concerted Strike on both River Shapers, and then hit their guys, and you search 2 spells, and it can search you more Concerted Strikes. This is basically how you remove threats, and it's extremely versatile. It's amazing because single combat, they strike you back, but this one, they don't. So yeah, this card's phenomenal. But yeah, you want to use this with River Shaper and Fiora and stuff like that, but you definitely want to finish with Fiora, like get the actual kill with Fiora, but use River Shaper, search you a spell. 2 Screeching Dragon. I wanted more challengers. I wish this deck actually had space for more cards. That's why it's kind of hard to run like Deny and Refuge. I wasn't running Deny at one point. I wasn't running Refuge at one point, but 2 Screeching Dragons. I wish I could run 3, but just a 4/5 challenger. It's one of the bigger challengers, has good health stats, so it doesn't need as much assistance to clear cards. Even a 4/5 on 5 challenger is good at clearing some of their smaller guys, and then with Riposte, he gets 7 attack, which can clear a lot of things. He makes it easier to Concerted Strike, so he has a lot of attack. But yeah, let's go to the cards you can play, because there's a lot of different ways to play this deck. A lot of people don't run Young Witch. Some people don't run Refuge, don't run Deny. Everything else is pretty staple. I think everyone runs Feet Feather Tracker. Most people run Green Glade. Staple. Staple means it's ran every version, so Staple, Fiora Staple, Learn Forager Staple, River Shaper, Post, Shen, Concerted Strike, and then I think Screech Dragon is stable at this point. So most of the deck's not that flexible. The flex cards are like Young Witch, Deny, and Spirit Refuge. So let's get into other cards real quick before we get into the game, just because there are other ways to build the deck. I want to note just a few cards. So I would write 3 Screeching Dragons if I could fit it. Something that's good is the end game. Sit 3 of the Bold is really good because this helps against to finish games to 6/6. It gives all things Fearsome, which help you close out games. So you don't get chump blocked like forever. It's good against Tahm Kench Soraka because other guys are weak and stuff like that. Just buffs your whole field, makes it easier to kill things with the Fiora and stuff like that. So yeah, Sit 3 is a really good finisher. There's also Genevieve Umpire. When I'm summoning, give other allies +1/+1 in this round, so she buffs everything for the round. Has Scout and has the Challenger, so she works well with the barriers to get free kills. So a lot of people run these. Quite good. You can run a Relentless Pursuit. You can run 2 or 1, but this isn't really a common pick, so people just tech it in. But it's cool as a 1-of again because it has the searchability off River Shaper, so you can try and go for game, which I think is really cool. I really like the whole River Shaper toolbox thing, so you can run Relentless Pursuit. You can run more Deny, more Refuge. Some people run Radiant Guardian, but it's not really standard. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd run it in this deck. I'd rather run Spirit Refuge that's searchable. But Swiftwing Lancer, create a random elite hit when it dies. So it's basically a Screeching Dragon, but its stats are flipped, where it's a 5/4. Generally, the 4/5 is better. This one has Fury, but this one gives you a card when it dies. So yeah. You can play 1 Judgment to be cute. kind of can catch people off guard. So I'd say like maybe Judgment. People usually don't play Judgment, though, but you could if you want. Genevieve. Genevieve and Cytherea are high considerations. A lot of people run the 2 or 3 Genevieve or Cytherea. Swimming Lancers, how the old version was ran before Screecher Dragon came out, but it still can be played. Yeah. Cool stuff, like there's a Ranger maybe. So let's get into the games. Alright, so we're playing against Fearsomes. This is a pretty straightforward Fearsome list. The popular one now is Nocturne Release with Pale Cascade Splash. There's the 3 Targon cards. This hand's interesting. We definitely don't need Deny until later in the match because it's only going to be used against cards like Harrowing. You can't use it on Mark of the Isles if they play that, or Pale Cascade because they're burst, like Stalking Shadow, stuff like that. So we can mulligan this. It's too expensive. We need some early game pressure. I think that we're just going to control the game with Young Witch and Fiora. Sharp Sight would be good spell to have as well. The only one drop I could really want is Fleet Tracker. This is fine too. I think we're going to take some early game damage, but after that we should stabilize with Young Witch and Fiora. That's the plan. So we map out our turns here. Turn 1 we could play this, turn 2 play this, turn 3 play this, and then make spell mana. We might as well do that because passing turn 1 won't let us bank enough for a post or Sharp Sight, so we can just play this. Get 1 damage in here. They usually don't run any 1-drops except for Stygian Onlooker, which is a card they usually don't play on 1 as well anyway, because it has the Nightfall effect, make it a 4/1 Fearsome. Interesting. Don't think we'll be playing that though. Definitely gonna play Young Witch this turn. Okay, gets the miss rate, that's fine. We let it go. Attack for 2 here. Not sure if he's thinking about like maybe Mark of the Isles, but there's no reason to do that here. Alright, so we play Fiora here. Even if he does have Mark of the Isles or Pale Cascade for a combat trick, we still get the quick attack and 1-shot attack from Young Witch, so this should be a kill regardless of what happens. Now our hand's stacked with cards like Riposte and Sharp Sight, so we're pretty set to try and get a Fiora Wink on here. We set the gauge, keeping Fiora alive versus taking damage. He shouldn't have many ways to deal with Fiora, so I feel like if we don't block with her, then we're pretty set. We'll take a lot of damage in the process, but I think we can get 4 Fiora kills before he kills us with the Fearsomes in the Mist Race. Interesting. That makes things a lot better, especially with for the final kill. When we level up Fiora, we can try and get a single combat to close it out. Here he's probably just Stalking Shadows. It's likely he's just going to play Wraithcaller this turn. Turn 4 is usually the Wraithcaller turn. A bit higher after seeing it, now that he's Stalking Shadows. Nocturne. Interesting. Well, I'm actually just going to leave mana for a post then. I need to keep the Young Witch alive so we can keep doing the tricks here. Alright, so we're taking 5, but I think it's worth it. I think taking 5 is worth it. We're still not in immediate danger of dying. We have a lot of blockers for even if he has the Wraithcaller turn or like Risen Mist. We have single combat turn off that as well. I think that he's a lot more afraid of our Fiora level up than I am of his things. We can just develop or just open attack here. Keep our battle tricks up. Putting 1 damage isn't really worth it, especially if he plays a blocker. Like, I don't mind this trading with a lot of things, but if he plays like an Ephemeral blocker, that could be kind of annoying because Stalking Shadows, well, that's what at least gave him Ephemerals. They're usually good as blockers. They're good as offense and blockers, but I don't want to trade a real card for an Ephemeral. Yeah. He really wants to get rid of that thing, but I really want to keep it, so we'll do this to push more damage here. The cool thing is with all these Stalking Shadows, he's running out of mana. Or he's behind in tempo because we had the field. He's just constantly out of mana. Alright, pretty good game so far. That's a good start. Yeah, we were gonna win with the Fiora level up way before he killed us. The Young Witch Fiora combination just allowed us to just kill all of his cards for free. Whatever he plays, whether it's Elise, like Reckoning Horde, Doom Beast, what other ones? The Mist Race, the Wraith Callers, they all just died of the Fiora combo with the Young Witch, so we were pretty set to win that no matter what happened. And we had single combat to boot and double Sharp Sight, so we had a lot of ways to maneuver. Alright, this is interesting. Twisted Fate Swain. Since the Riptide Rex nerf and the Make Rain nerf, we haven't seen it as much, but I'm excited to see how this goes. This matchup I think would be pretty bad for us, just because they have Ravenous Flock, which is an extremely good way of killing Fiora. It's 1 mana does 4 damage, so it's really good. We don't need 2 of these, we can just keep the 1 drop. This hand's actually kind of weak. I was gonna say we want to draw in a River Shaper or Challenger, like Lauren Prodigy of Fiora, so we can start making good use out of Young Witch. Young Witch is also weak to Make It Rain itself, if they still play that. I'm assuming they do, but it costs 3 mana now. All in all, I feel like in theory, this should definitely be a fair match for him and a losing matchup for us. But we're going to do our best here, and the game still has to play out, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, the question is, do I play this right now? I think I'd rather attack and then bank Sharpsight mana for later when the game gets more complicated. This will give me the option to keep to use Sharpsight or play Young Witch in different turns. So we can kind of like gauge the field and see what the best thing to do is. Instead of just hard committing to Young Witch right now for 1 damage, then maybe there's a turn later we want to Sharpsight with like River Shaper we can. We're tapped out. Alright, get the damage here. Play River Shaper. We're probably going to go River Shaper with Brightside Protector and try and get a free attack in to search a spell. This also will make this a 3-2, which could trade with this as well. This could trade. It's nice. If we pass this here, he loses 2 mana. Or he loses the 1 mana. So that's nice. Death's Hand. That's a tough one, because I actually really want to keep this card alive. I think I am going to keep it alive. Let's just do Sharpsight here, keep it alive. Next turn, we're going to Brightside Protector it. He might do the Ravenous Flock here and kill it, though. Which is why this matchup's hard. One of the reasons, yeah. One of the reasons this matchup's so tough is Ravenous Flock's really good in general, but against us for sure. Alright, that kind of messed up our hand. We need to draw Fiora or Challenger, okay. So he drew a Challenger, that's nice, but again, he could have another Ravenous Flock, so let's say we try and trade this, then he just Ravenous Flock or Make It Rains or something. It would be a bit scary. So let's see what happens here. Our hand is molding up to be decent, just because we have a mixture of support units, the barriers, like the support units, and then the spells. So it's a pretty versatile hand, which is nice for many situations. I'm just afraid of him having another Ravenous Flock, which can easily dispose of Fiora. If we get a damage, which is, again, very easy to do. I'm going to pass to make him lose a mana. I think it's the right thing to do. I don't want to commit to anything. Our hand's not that great. It is versatile, but it's not extremely powerful or anything. We can just do things willy-nilly or be too ahead of control. Something also rough here is Twisted Fate. Can really do a number on us. In case he calls our bluff, I think we just use play Bright still here. And I'm gonna develop the Young Witch and the Fleet Checker as well. Try to have a good attack next turn. I'm hoping we draw a spell. A spell that can boost attack, like Riposte or something. Shen. That's interesting. We could actually develop Shen here, but that makes us extremely weak to Twisted Fate. How would we like to attack here?
For the honor of House Laurent.
We could bluff Riposte here. Or we could just hook this away and push for damage. Kind of weird spot. I think we can play Shen here. Nah, we'll just lose Twisted Fate. We can't play Shen here. I'm joking. There's no way. My brain tells me to go for a big damage. How much damage is this? 7? Tough spot, honestly. I think it's worth doing this, just because it's going to die to Twisted Fate anyway. So I don't mind doing it to weaken the Swain and push for some damage. It'd be nice if we had River Shaper still, so we could be searching spells right now. But this is, I think it's going to die to Twisted Fate regardless, so we might as well just use it now to put in some damage. The cool thing is this deck doesn't have any healing, right? So any damage we do is permanent. The only way it could have healing is if he had, like, if he played Black Market Merchant or Pilfer Goods and stole our Sphere Refuge, but we have it in our hand, so he should. Every damage we do is permanent in this game, which is nice. Sharpsight would be really good against that. But now we can play Shen. It's fine. We don't lose. It's not like before where we're gonna have our attack make a lot worse if he Twisted Fate and killed Young Witch and Fleet Checker. Wow. See, this is interesting because this is very good for Fiora. Obviously, we can actually threaten a level up now. I'm assuming he has ways to stop this. Okay, this is one of the weakest draws we could have drawn. We've drawn a lot of 1-drops this game. Our deck is pretty low to the ground, but I mostly would draw River Shaper and spells. Like Concerted Strike would be nice to deal with this, and also threaten the Fiora level up. I'm hoping getting to Riposte, but I think last turn we kind of gave it away. We didn't. At least we can do the Green Glade Caretaker, block this with the barrier.
I'm always up for a round or two.
Okay. So this is pretty terrifying just because now this is damaged. And since it's damaged, that means that he can use Ravenous Block on it and stuff like that.
Victory awaits.
Alright. Only has 5 defense though. If he tries to attack and put the Spirit Refuge on this and block it, I don't think he's going to be greedy and attack with it. It's pretty risky. I'm not sure what he's going to do. Maybe attack with just Zap here. He could also just have the Ravenous Fox. These are all in threaten of Ravenous Block. Even Scorched Earth could kill these things. If he has Noxian Guillotine, if he plays that, then he can kill 2 of our units, which is insanely good.
Lady Luck is smiling.
Interesting.
We are at war.
Really? That's interesting. Alright. Well, this is one of the only ones that can block this, and it's nice to heal. I don't exactly know what's happening here. Maybe he has a Death Hand. It's a pretty versatile card here. I don't mind leaving these here for Fiora. Interesting. I could get rid of this.
I'll stop you.
Take some damage. It's fine. I want to keep this because that's Challenger. He's probably just going to Death Hand either this or... the Death Hand this would only make it so they trade, but... I could see him just killing Fiora to get out of the way. We don't really have win cons right now except for Fiora, and she's barely killing time at the moment. But in the future, she could become pretty powerful. So let's see what he does here. We're pretty much going to try and draw into spells turn after turn. River Shaper would be interesting too, but we definitely need the spells. Okay, make it range. One hit that. I don't mind him hitting this. You keep that. It's kind of everything you want. Right. Is he gonna make it rain again? No.
I find them worthy.
I'm gonna kill this. I don't want to kill Twisted Fate because then if he has another one, he can just play it and then 1 damage our whole field. He can block here and do it himself if he wants, but I'm not gonna not attack with Shen. Here, you easily could just have like the Death's Hand or the ping, whatever, a ping. It's, oh, okay. Interesting. Well, here we can Concerted Strike. That way it levels up and doesn't die to Culling Strike anymore. If we see on combat, it'll lose the barrier and die to this, so I think we'll just Concerted Strike here. A bit risky considering he can just play like Leviathan and get good tempo here, but... Or this is just many ways to stop this in general, but I think it's what we have to do with our limited cards right now. If this goes through, I mean, we're even in cards at this point. Yeah, we have some damage cards, but this is still a 7-1. This is leveled up. Shen and Fiora is a good combo. So if this does resolve... Oh, it did resolve. Okay, so we're actually even in cards now. So we're not that far behind as we were before.
Too easy.
And now this is going to be 3 out of 4. Half tempted to just go for the spider there, right? To finish off the game with the Fiora win con, but I think it's extremely risky. I expected him to have a Death's Hand or a lot of things to make the Zap Spray Fin trade with the like the Zap Spray Fin trade with the Fiora is what I thought would happen. But yeah, Fiora's really susceptible. This is bad for us because now he gets more cards. This is one of the only things we had going for us is that he wasn't too ahead of us in cards. It's just that all our units are damaged, and that leaves them all except for Ravenous Flock. That's why I'm scared. Interesting. Alright, well he has a lot of cards now. Again, that's not even really bad for him. It doesn't matter if he loses that much tempo. He has so much mana at this point, he can just redevelop the whole field. I need to hope we draw, like, Deny or a Barrier. Some kind of spell to make it so Fiora can not decide Ravenous Flock here. Because I'm afraid, like, he has pretty high odds of drawing. He already used 1 Ravenous Flock, but pretty high odds of drawing a second one. All he has to do is activate it right now. We can't do anything about it. We don't have single combat to try and finish off Fiora before Flock resolves. So he should be in a good spot here. I'm hoping he just develops a creature, but he probably won't. If he does anything, I'm instantly playing Braced Formation, like, instantly. And next turn we can open attack with Shen Fiora and try and finish him off. He is thinking pretty hard because he is in a tough spot here.
Never lost a fair game. Or played one.
Okay,
Something for all.
that's fine. Let's go. We lose that, but that's not what matters. We're winning with Fiora, so.
You're covered.
Duty, selflessness.
We have a chance. If he taps slow enough, then maybe we can, I don't know. It's like you have to have 0 mana to not be able to just flock right here. I have no idea what's about to happen. I kind of want to wait to next turn to try and do things, but we might just have single combat. I would like to single combat in response to a spell, but he's not going to use a spell while we have barriers, so we have to wait a second and see what he does. Definitely a tough spot. If he had flock, I would have used it instantly, but he doesn't. That's interesting. That's interesting. Alright, well... We still can't use single combat here. It's too risky. If we draw a second one, then or like another Conserve Strike, that's very good because then we can put it on the stack in case we do like single like attack with Shen. In this, he tries to Death Sand it, and we can single combat with that in response. There's not really a point in playing this as much as I want to.
It must be done.
I think keeping a blocker is nice here. If those 3, we just win, so... See how it goes.
They are under my
If he has multiple ways to hit her, then the barrier is not going to be effective enough. If he only has one, then he can do it here and we chain single combat. Perfect. If we do this here, then he changes this, then... Okay, he knows it's coming, he had no answer. Alright, GG's, yeah. Pretty interesting stuff.
You fought with honor.